Hi everyone, welcome to a special edition of In the Driver's Seat. Today we're on location at NADA in Las Vegas. Joining us is Michael Kraut, Vice President of Data Advertising Solutions at Experian Automotive. Michael, welcome to In the Driver's Seat.
Great to see you live.
Great to see you live. Michael, you and I caught up last year on Up to Speed, and our topic was around the complexities of consumer marketing, specifically consumer targeting. First-party data has been the foundation for years now, but we're hearing that using first-party data only to reach consumers just doesn't cut it anymore. Explain.
Interesting that it's been just a year and so much has moved forward.
Yeah.
Right now, I think most dealers are understanding that first-party data, that's all the data that they have in those DMSs and their CRM, it's table stakes now that you have to organize it.
Right.
It's not an easy process, which is, there's tools out here all along the floor that are going to be helping dealers kind of get through that. But that only tells you all about your existing customers. You have to service the front of the store and the back of the store. You have to always be, as a retailer, you have to bring more people into the store. So what's really critical about that first-party data is that becomes sort of that bedrock of who your customers are in your marketplace. If you don't do that, you're really limiting yourself, and you can't just keep selling the same car to the same person if they just came in 6 months earlier. There's people in your marketplace that might have your brand of the dealer that you represent. They may not be servicing their car there. They may be using other third-party service providers. Go out and get them.
Right.
But you have to have the right framework and understand that in your marketplace, what those consumers are like. The most important thing that dealers have to do about getting their first-party data sort of in place is that the tools that they're going to be using in the future are a lot of these AI tools, and AI tools only go so far. They're as good as the data that it is. So it's important for that step to take place, the hygiene and cleansing. And that's the first step.
That's the first step. Okay, so data hygiene, data cleanliness, this is a critical ongoing task that dealers face.
Yes.
And even if they're doing great work with their first-party data hygiene, you're confirming it's no longer enough. Right now it's all about enriching your first-party data. So how do you define data enrichment?
Enrichment, we find, we're one of the largest data providers in North America and the globe to some degree. And what enrichment does is it fills in the gaps of the data that you have in place and tells you a little bit more. And a lot of people or businesses, when they go through their enrichment processes, they think if they do it once a year, maybe even twice a year, that's enough, and it may be. But enrichment gives you the opportunity to really learn more about your customer base, fill in those signals about things that you don't know about. And if you could just learn a little bit more, it's amazing how much more that data could expand and drive your business. Enrichment also, once you understand more about your first-party data and you've enriched it, once you start to look for lookalikes in the marketplace, you now have more information about who you really service. So enrichment is just critical. The AI tools today, going back to that, you have to really understand more and more about your customer to be more and more personalized. And you're seeing all across the floor, all the AI vendors or any sort of digital advertising vendor will tell you that the more I know about you, the more personalized I can make the message. Whether it's FedEx that sends you personalized messages, they know you have something that's getting delivered, or your dentist sending you about the reminder about getting a teeth cleaning or something.
Oh yeah, they're good.
Dealers should be doing the same thing.
Completely.
And it just so happens when you go to your dentist, they happen to know a lot more about you because they don't have as many bad key entries. They know about you, and I think that's where dealers really start to need to become much more cognizant about the entry. Because once they get that in, then they can make things a lot better for their business.
So, just to understand how it works, so is it fair to say, Michael, with this new level of consumer targeting, that first-party data directs the who, which we've established is table stakes, And enrichment then informs the what and the when by layering in that third-party data. I mean,
absolutely.
I'm simplifying it.
You're simplifying it,
that's
but
sort of the way it goes.
But
right?
yes,
yeah.
that's pretty much. We often we're often the best case for a lot of our data providers to use our data because we have so much signal, and we have the ability to tell them a lot more about those customers. So when you talk about the when, the easy one that we use as an example is when a vehicle is going to go off lease.
Yeah.
That's a nice signal to have, especially if a vehicle, an owner, is in your marketplace. If you want to target those people that are coming off of lease, that's just one signal.
Yeah.
Equity is another great signal. A used car owner that has had that car for 8 years might be a good signal.
Right.
So we run the gamut around all these signals. I've often thought that like gas mileage is a wonderful proxy or signal for a dealer to target somebody. You know, we all know that we're riding cars longer and longer and longer, and at some point, someone needs a new or a used car.
Right.
So for both service and to actually find somebody to sell a car to, it's a great signal.
Yeah, I mean, so if we look at enrichment, which, I mean, just by the way, how many signals are there that you can see?
There's a lot of attributes. I'll leave it at that.
It's almost...
It's Experian. So
yeah.
What's unique about Experian from a global perspective is we operate one of the largest consumer footprints. Okay, everyone's familiar with like our Experian as a credit bureau, which
yes.
is a seed, so to speak. We also have all the richest vehicle information, so garage data is very important. When you combine all that,
yeah.
you could use your mind to expand like how many signals are out there that we could use. Interestingly enough, for both our digital audiences and our Experian marketing engine, which has a lot more of the data audiences that dealers use for direct mail and streaming TV, we've just redefined them, and we're making those more and more, we'll call it precision.
Totally.
In some cases, it might be too small for large advertisers because you don't have, in the CPM equation, you don't have as much M as you used to, so you lose some scale.
Yeah.
But it's our business to sort of make sure that those audiences, whether they're digital or used for direct mail, are the tightest audiences that we could make, given our technology that we use when we build them.
It's a great combination to have. So if we look at enrichment as part of the overall marketing spend, which is, I'm sure, how a dealer needs to look at it, i.e. an enhancement to the data hygiene and the consumer targeting, what kind of extra investment is needed? I know you get this question because in order to avoid wasted ad spend, which is kind of, you know, probably one of the benefits of this, how should dealers calculate what to invest in this kind of upgrade?
It's a great question. We get that question, you know, in this conference, I'll get that question 100 times.
Because that's a buying sign, I think. They go, yes, I want it. How much do I spend on it?
It's a hard thing not to invest in because the downstream effects of not doing something will impact your brand. It will impact the retailer's reputation.
Okay.
Why are you sending me information about a car I sold 2 years ago?
I know.
And we have a variety of tools that we use all the time. And I'll give you one that I think for all our agency partners that work with us and a handful of our large OEMs, they use something like a VIN verification. All it's asking is, does Emma Hancock still own this 2022 BMW 5 Series? That's it, yes or no. Why would I want to send you messaging, whether it's email, text, or direct mail, if you no longer own that car?
Right.
So think of the impact that has from a branding perspective. So it's hard to decide to actually pinpoint what should you spend. It's sort of like you should just be doing that.
Just get started.
Just do it. You have to figure out a way to verify the data.
Right.
In our case, we're just verifying that you still own a car.
Yeah.
That's a form of enrichment, so to speak.
Okay, so start there. Okay, so because this level of consumer targeting, hyper-targeting, I've heard you call it that, allows for so much more
Yes.
customization, I want to ask you one more question about the feedback you're getting from customers. For example, Hamlin and Associates
Yes.
has had some great results with third-party data enrichment. What can you share about what your customers are telling you?
Hamlin's a great
Yeah,
partner of
yeah.
ours. We have a multitude of customers that are utilizing our data for that precision. That's making the products or the solutions that they could bring to their stores that they represent that much better. And I always equate it when we talk about sort of how you could expand out our data. It's sort of like if you look at Microsoft Word, they have a lot of things on their menu, and most people might use just bold and italic and underline, but there's a multitude of things you could do. We do the same thing with our data.
If you want it, it's there.
So Hamlin and a variety of our other customers are constantly retweaking and using our data in various different ways to find customers in that marketplace that fit what the campaign sort of dictum is of that dealer. If the dealer really wants new service customers, you could dial that in for that dealer.
Well, I don't know a dealer who doesn't want that, so I think it's about getting started with enrichment.
Yeah.
Michael, always great to see you.
It was great to see you.
Thank you again,
Yes.
and we will see you all next time from the driver's seat.